Most moms come to the moment where they think, why am I sitting in Mass with little kids if the kids can't understand what's happening? A lot of times you have children in the church with you, and they're either crawling around on the floor or bonking their heads on the kneelers and the pews in front of them, and they're crying. Other moms have teenagers who are sitting there biting their nails and rolling their eyes, and you sort of made them go. And the mom is thinking, is this really worth it? Maybe it'll have a negative effect on them, that it's just that thing to be forced to go to. Going to church is a major question, and the liturgy itself is something that we should think about. What is the liturgy, and why are we asking our kids to participate in the liturgy? The church has a really beautiful teaching, which is that participating in the liturgy is both external and internal. It's a really interesting thought for me because sometimes I'm sitting through a liturgical rite, a mass, a baptism, etc., and I'm going through the motions exteriorly. But am I going through it interiorly? On the other hand, you can have the opposite situation where you're outside of the church, maybe in the cry room or in the narthex, and you're thinking to yourself, my heart is in there. I want to be worshiping, but I'm outside here holding a crying baby. So internally, you are participating, and exteriorly, you're a step removed. The scripture teaches us to be a living sacrifice. Romans 12:1 talks about making our lives a living sacrifice, holy and acceptable to God. That is what is happening in church. The purpose of the liturgy is to make a holy and acceptable sacrifice to God. That's really what worship is. And the scripture teaches that we should be living in that kind of worshipful way all the time. We can worship all day, every day in our ordinary lives. As a mom, there are ways you can do that really encourage your children in that kind of a lifestyle. Certainly the most important thing is for the children to be accustomed to and familiar with Bible stories. A lot of times my kids would like to act out the Bible stories. They loved costumes. So we had a big bin of costumes that they could draw from and be different characters. So Bible shows can be really fun. We also learned a lot about saints. The reason is that saints live out the love of Christ in different ways. So it helps children to see, wow, there are a whole lot of different ways to give your life to Christ. So they can act those stories out too, the lives of the saints. It really dramatizes the love for God. It really unlocks the imagination and helps a child get really excited and enthusiastic about living a Christian life. Another thing that I learned from older moms who were teaching me how to raise a Christian family was to make a crown, and then you put toothpicks in it that represent the thorns, and you can leave that crown because it won't dissolve. Once it's been baked, it has no sugar in it, and it can sit there for a really long time. And so when children do a generous act or a really Christian act, like maybe they put some money into the collection plate that they earned themselves, or maybe they do a favor for a sibling. We used to have things called angel activities, and our kids would do angel activities, meaning like to make their sister or brother's bed or do one of their chores for them. That was really hard for them. I mean, that was really painful. They just hated doing it. But when they realized this is an opportunity to be like Christ, it felt like the crown of thorns to them, but they would do it and then get to pull out one of the toothpicks and keep that toothpick as a keepsake. It's a sign to them that they participated in the passion of Christ. It's a pretty powerful thing for a 6 to 10-year-old. The more that you can help your children see that Christianity is not just going to church on Sundays, it's living in a Christian way all day, every day, then your children's faith will really come alive.